On the right side of both the J37's upper and lower control panels are several controls for creating the kind of delay and echo effects that you'd have gotten by sending signal to a second tape recorder to create a delayed version and then mixing that back in with the original at the console. And check out the diagram to see the signal routing that would have been done. Waves provides two ways to add the delay: insert and send and return. Insert, naturally, is for when the plugin is inserted directly into the channel strip of the track it's being used on.
I watch her walking down the street.
In this mode, the J37 plugin adds the delayed signal to the original, sending both to the output. Alternatively, send and return mode is for when the plugin is instantiated on an aux track and signal is being sent to it from another track over a bus, just like with a reverb send and return.
I watch her walking down the street.
In send and return mode, the input signal is not passed through the plugin, which outputs only the delayed version. Again, this is like setting a blend or mix control on a reverb in an aux to 100% effect. No dry signal gets through. On the top panel, under delay, are the main settings: delay level in dB and delay time in milliseconds.
I watch her walking down the street. I see her driving in her car.
Or subdivisions of the beat if the sync button is enabled, which of course is strictly a modern option.
I watch her walking down the street. I see her driving in her car.
In millisecond mode, the delay times range from 1 millisecond up to 2 seconds. That's 2,000 milliseconds. The default time is 184 milliseconds, which corresponds to the delay time that you'd get at 7.5 IPS based on the distance between the record head and the playback head on the second tape machine, the one being used for the delay effect. That's how tape delay works. The signal arrives at the second machine's record head and is then picked up at its playhead. The speed the tape is moving at and the distance between the two heads determines the delay time. Longer or shorter delay times could be achieved by changing the tape speed. For example, running the machine at 15 IPS would cut the delay time in half. But take note, unlike the real thing, in this plugin, changing the tape speed setting over on the left side does not affect the delay time setting. Those controls are independent of one another here.
I watch her walking down the street. I see her driving in her car.
At Abbey Road, their J37's motors were modded to allow tape speed to be controlled by an external oscillator, making it possible to run the machines at speeds other than the ones set from the front panel. This vari-speed capability, as you'll see in upcoming sections, was put to good use for creating the famous ADT effect, but it also allowed them to make continuous adjustments to the delay and echo times when using one of the machines for that purpose. So the continuous delay time range available here is true to the capabilities of the original setup. In the stereo version of the plugin, both delay level and time are individually adjustable for the left and right sides, though they can both be linked with the little link button. When they are linked, any offset dialed up between channels is preserved. On the lower panel, there are high-pass and low-pass filters, which affect only the delayed signal, even in insert mode. With real tape machines, there would typically be some variation in the frequency response of the machine used for the delay, and this lets you emulate that. In particular, you can warm up a delay or echo effect nicely by attenuating the top octave or two with the low-pass filter.
I see her driving in her car.
It's especially noticeable on sibilants, like S's and T's, softening the edge of the repeats. The mode switches, naturally, are where you choose insert or send and return operation. And the type switches let you choose from 3 classic delay effects: straight echo, traditionally called slap echo;
I watch her walking down the street.
repeating echoes, which you get with the use of feedback. That's what FDBK stands for.
I watch her walking down the street.
And in the stereo version only, you also get ping-pong mode, where the echo bounces back and forth between left and right.
I watch her walking down the street.
The level controls above change function for the different effects types. In slap echo mode, the default, they set the level of the delay in dB. Maximum level is 0 dB. The delay is the same level as the dry signal. In feedback and ping-pong modes, level changes to a percentage, indicating the degree of feedback, which determines the number of repeats.
I watch her walking down the street.
But take note, there is some interaction between the level you set in slap mode and the level you get in feedback mode. In insert mode, if you set a particular level in slap and then switch to feedback, the percentage will automatically adapt to preserve the same perceived level for the effect.
I watch her walking down the street. I see her driving in her car.
But if you then manually adjust the level percentage setting, the overall effect level you'd set will change, as you'll see if you then switch back to slap mode.
I watch her walking down the street. I see her driving in her car.
But in send and return mode, switching from slap to feedback doesn't preserve the level you dialed up in slap. Instead, it's reset to 0 dB.
I watch her walking down the street. I see her driving in her car.
I guess they feel that in send and return mode, you can always adjust the level of the aux to balance between the dry and delay signals, so this linkage is unnecessary. So, that's the Abbey Road Studer J37 plugin. But we're not done with the J37. It was the tape machine employed for the famous Abbey Road ADT, artificial double tracking effect, which is emulated in the real ADT plugin, coming up next.